Hey, hi everybody. I'm your GMAT Quant and Data Insights mentor, Devmitra. What you see here on your screen is Prepathon.ai, powered by Crackverbal. This AI-enabled platform helps you practice a lot of GMAT problems and analyze the questions also. So once you analyze GMAT questions better, you improve your reasoning, the sense of reasoning better. And that's what we're going to do here. You can always set up your test based on the topic you want to practice, whether you want it easy, medium, hard, depends on the level of prep you are in. Here I have set up a quiz and I'm going to retake that quiz. With this quiz, I'm going to explain you few basic concepts of numbers, but we'll understand that via questions. Let's start. If A, B, C are positive integers, these words are very, very important on the GMAT. Positive integers, negative integers, positive numbers, very important. And 3 times A is 4 times B is 7 times C, then the least possible value of the sum A plus B plus C is how much has been asked to us. Well, think about it. So there is a number which is a multiple of 3 and a multiple of 4 and a multiple of 7, right? When I say 3 times A, because A is an integer here, the result will be an integer which is divisible by 3. For example, 9. 3 times 3 is 9. A is 3 and the number I'm looking for is 9, which is a multiple of 3. If I say B is equal to 4, then 4 times 4, 16 is the value of 4B, and 16 now becomes a multiple of 4. 7C is a multiple of 7. Like for example, if C is 2, then 7 times 2 is 14 and 7C is 14. 14 becomes a multiple of 7. So we are looking for a number that's a multiple of 3, that's a multiple of 4, that's a multiple of 7. We are looking for a common multiple of 3, 4, and 7. Not just any common multiple, we are looking for the least common multiple because we are trying to find the least values of A, B, and C. So let me ask AI if it can give me the LCM or least common multiple of 3, 4, and 7. It's step by step showing you how to find the least common multiples. Basically, you prime factorize it 3 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 7 to the power 1. Take the highest powers of each prime factor. So you have a 2 square, you have a 7 to the power 1, you have a 3 to the power 1. Multiplying them, you get 84. So 84 is the least common multiple of 3, 4, and 7. If 3a is equal to 84, that multiple we are looking for, that number which is divisible by 3. So a is equal to 84 by 3. And 84 by 3 is equal to 28. I have a is equal to 28, b. Now what about b? 84 as a number, the least common multiple, is also 4 times something. So 4 times something is 84. The something or the unknown or the value of b here is 84 divided by 4 or 21. C, 7c. 84 is also equal to 7 times c. C is equal to 84 by 7 or 12. To find out a plus b plus c, look at the last digits. 8 plus 1 is 9 plus 2 is 11. So the answer here I'm looking for should be ending with a 1. Right? And the only answer choice is 61. So I'm going to mark 61 here. But if I had to use a hint with AI, what would it give me as a hint? Well, express ABC in terms of a common variable k, or find out the number which is multiple of 3, 4, and 7. What is the GMAT skill being tested on this question, or the GMAT concept being tested? Let's ask that. Because that's the intent of this video. What is the concept being tested? Why am I finding LCM? Should I be finding LCM or GCD on this question? That decision making on the question is what is being tested. I'm looking for a number that is divisible by, not dividing. Divisible by 3, divisible by 4, divisible by 7. And the least such number because the sum has to be the least. Hence the LCM. That is the understanding the question is testing you on. This is a question where basic understanding of evens and odds will be very helpful. ABC are consecutive integers like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back-to-back integers. Must be true. Must be true implies they have to always be true. You can't have an untrue statement. Think about a scenario when you have consecutive integers. It can be even odd or it can be odd even. In that case, when I have even odd or odd even, the sum of even and odd, or even plus odd or odd plus even, will always be odd. Like for example, even plus odd. 2 plus 3, 5. Or another example, 4 plus 3, 7. 1 plus 2, 3. So you add an even or odd, even and odd, you're going to get an odd result. In fact, it's true for also subtraction. Even minus odd. 4 minus 3 is going to give you an odd value, 1. Odd minus even. 5 minus 2 is going to give you odd, which is 3. Odd plus even or odd minus even or the vice versa will always generate an odd response. And that's why answer choice 1 should always be true, will always be there. And we can eliminate values that don't carry 1. So B can be eliminated, C is out, E and D can remain along with A. Think about 2. A times B is odd. Well, not necessary. Not at all, in fact, because if they're consecutive integers, 1 is even, 1 is odd. The result cannot be odd. The result has to be even. Even times odd or odd times even will be even. So 2 is out. Answer choice D is out. About 3, the difference is even. We're saying that the difference of an even and odd or odd and even is even. That's not true at all. Just like I explained earlier, the sum or the difference of even and odd or even, two consecutive integers will always be odd. So the only answer choice is statement 1. This helps us grasp a few things about evens and odds in terms of their properties. Numbers which are divisible by 2 are even. Numbers which are not divisible by 2 are odd. When you add two numbers, which is one of which is even, the other is odd, the result is always odd. When you subtract two numbers, one of which is odd, the other is even, the result is always odd. If you add two evens, the result is always even. If you subtract one even from another even, the result is always even. If you add two odds like 1 plus 3, the result is always even. If you subtract two odds, one odd from the other odd, for example, 3 minus 1, the result is always even. Okay? This is what I wanted to convey to you using this question, but let's ask it a hint in case if I had to ask, what would the hint give me? Properties of consecutive integers. Consecutive, one even, one odd, and then you start using the understanding of evens and odds on it. Let's talk about what was the GMAT concept being tested here. Understanding of evens, odds, properties of consecutive integers, their sums, their product, their differences. Now, I talk about the product here. Even times anything will be even. Odd times odd will always be odd. So even time odd or even time even will be even, but be careful. We are dealing with integers, then this answer is, the statement that I made is true. But if I'm not dealing with integers, like say 2 times 1 by 2, the result is 1. So although I'm multiplying 2 with something, the result is not even, it's 1. Because the something is not an integer, it's 1 by 2. Right? So keep these things in mind when you're dealing with GMAT standard questions or GMAT questions. Next question says, how many factors does number 16 have? Any number on the GMAT. Smallest factor is 1, the largest is the number itself. So what are the factors of 16? I have 1, I have 2, I have 4, I have 8, I have 16. Right? If I want to prime factorize 16 also, you would see 2, 2, 2 and 2. So with that, you can see the factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8 and 16. 5 factors, I'm going to mark 5. But if I had to take a hint, use prime factorization to express 16. Let me ask it to do so. It prime factorized 16, gave it as 2 to the power 4. So it's using a formula that if you express a number in terms of the product of the prime factors, a to the power p, b to the power q, c to the power r, and so on. Like if a number n is in the format of a to the power p, b to the power q, c to the power r, the number of factors will be p plus 1, q plus 1, r plus 1, and so on. So whatever are the powers of the prime basis, you add a 1, multiply by them to get the number of factors. Like suppose I would say 65, 5 and 13. The power of 5 is 1, the power of 13 is 1. If I have to find the number of factors 65 has, take the power of 5 as 1, add a 1 to it, multiply with it, take the power of 13, another 1, add a 1 to it, multiply them. So basically you have 2 times 2 or 4 factors. Let me ask it to write the factors of 65. 1, 5, 13, 65. There are 4 factors. Like I said, prime factorize it, take the powers, add a 1 to it, multiply the values, and then count the number of factors. That's how you can find out the number of factors by using a formula. But in this case, it was a simple number, and you could just visualize 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Hence, the answer here is 5. But if I had to ask it the concept being tested, what would it say me? factors and prime factorization. So yes, on the base of numbers, you knowing different types of numbers, integers, positive integers, negative integers, zero not being positive or negative, factors, multiples, greatest common factor, least common factor, number of factors, properties of evens and odds. This is what the GMAT is going to test you on numbers. I hope this video gave you a sneak peek of the basic steps you have to take before you go into hardcore practice with official questions. Thank you very much for staying back. More content coming soon to help you out.